Well, about 10 years ago, I got made redundant. I'd been in a job for 20 years, which I loved, and the site was closing down, so I got made redundant. And I had a year of doing bits and pieces here and there, and then I was applying for any sort of job. I come from sort of sales, admin, engineering initially, but in the sales and admin side of it. And I got offered 2 jobs on the same day. One was PestFix, and one was high-end garden furniture. And I was like, oh, I like that garden furniture. It's good. But the reason I went with PestFix, because the pay was the same, all the benefits were very, very similar. But I thought, pest control, it's essential. I have just been made redundant. That hurt. The industry's never going to go away. There's always going to be a need for pests. And obviously, pandemic proved that. You know, all my friends were at home on 80% of their wages doing nothing, and I was dragging my backside into work every day. But even though your company might change, the structure might change, you know, if you're good at your job, there will always be a job for you in this industry. And that's something I love about it. So that's how I got into it. So technical manager, literally, as I say, I started in sales and admin, but on a small company, you have to wear all the hats. So I'd advise Mrs. Miggins for her little roof net, and I'd advise big corporate companies on how to proof their distribution centres and stuff like that, as well as learning all the insecticides, the rodenticides, everyone. I had to deal with every customer. But I also used to do like the ordering, chase up debt, everything. I still have some of those sort of bits and pieces hanging around because as we've grown, some of the hats are still there because nobody else wants them. But essentially, I am the trainer. As I progressed with my knowledge, just for the kudos of it, I did my level 3, and that then qualified me to start teaching level 2. So I spend about half my time teaching pest controllers how to do pest control, and the other half doing sort of some technical consultancy, if you like, within the company. So if you are speaking to your sales manager or your account manager and they can't answer your question, they'll come to me and then I'll help them through your query and also do internal training as well. So I'm very much steering now towards the technical side, but it's every day's a school day. So I like to learn something new every day. The best thing for me, because we touched upon it on one of the earliest talks, people think pest controllers are all hairy-ass men with their trousers at half-mast, knuckle dragging on the ground. Doesn't have to be that way at all. And in fact, I think being a woman in the industry can very much change people's perceptions. But also the thing I really like about it is there is so much to learn. And I've got, even though I teach people, I'm aware that there's so much more I've got to learn. And I'm one of those people, I like to learn something new every day. So even if it's, how somebody's web portal works, it's something new I've learned. It's a new skill. It's something different. And for someone going into the industry, one of the things I like is I talk to people sometimes nowadays and I say, what do you do for a living? And they tell me and I'm like, I don't understand and I don't see your purpose in the world, which sounds awful. But actually the job we do, you can quite easily tell people what you do for a living. I work in pest control. I can be really, really funny because I can say, actually I'm the technical manager for an online retailer, which I am. But actually I work in pest control. And that gives people a far clearer idea of what we do. But you can very easily describe what you do and also that you have a purpose. Your job makes a real difference. If you've gone to somebody's house and they're absolutely crawling with rats or fleas or whatever, or if I get somebody coming on a course and they're just looking blank-faced at the beginning of it, and then I phone them 2 months later and go, you passed. No, I'm genuinely making a difference there, and they will then go on and make that difference in their customers' homes, which for me is a big win. There is a small gender barrier because companies are going to do risk assessments and they're going to look, and some of the products that we use are reprotoxins. So if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, there is a risk that some of the products we use could harm your unborn child. So if you're at that age of fertility, then there is, you're going to have some conversations that technically your employer can't ask. Are you pregnant? Are you trying to? That doesn't get asked in a normal job, but it's important that you have that conversation if you are planning a family. Fortunately, I joined the industry when that ship had sailed, so there is a small barrier, but certainly, and I think you'll see more and more of the women in the industry are more on the technical side of things, so they're not actually as hands-on. But I am seeing more girls and women on my courses, and they love it. And it is, it's beating expectations. People think just because you're a girl you can't do something. Actually, one of the good physical traits of being a pest controller is being small, because you're going into roofs, you're going under cupboards, you're getting into small places, and women tend to be smaller. So actually it can be a bit of a benefit. And certainly if you're doing domestic jobs, as someone that lives on their own, I'm a lot more comfortable inviting a female professional into my house, or a female tradesperson into my home, than I am some big airy bloke. You know, you phone someone, or it's the electrician, the plumber, whatever. I've never met this man, and yet, come in, make yourself at home, go in my loft, wherever. So I think there are strengths and weaknesses to being a woman in the industry, but it's definitely a job that is available to women.